Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Environment probing the Solai tragedy ejected a delegation sent by Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiangi. Patrick Ntutu, the Chief Administrative Secretary for Interior, did not get a chance to represent his boss, Dr. Fred Matiangi, who had missed the sittings for a second time. Environment Cabinet Secretary Keriako Tobiko faced the panel to explain what his ministry has done in restoration of the environment. Let's now bring in our reporter, Mark Namaso, who has been covering this from the onset. He joins us live from our city centre studios. Mark, good afternoon. The committee seems to have been angered by the fact that the Interior Cabinet Secretary was a no-show once again.
Yes, they insisted that he must appear in person to respond to the matters that have been raised against some of his officers. For instance, we've heard about the issue of allegations concerning provincial administration officials who belong to the Ministry of Interior moving around in Solai and coercing the villagers to sign indemnity forms that would have absolved the Patel farm owner from further legal action. And Matiangí has also been told to appear tomorrow. And then we also have another element that came out, that is the issue of the environmental audit. NEMA was there together with the environment CS Keriako Tobiko, and they tabled a report that is called the Environmental Restoration Order that was supposed to be effected concerning the aftermath of what happened at Solai Dam. And the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Environment also rejected this particular environmental restoration order. For instance, some of the findings they presented, at least about two, they say that the collapsed dam degraded the environment. That is a matter that the farm owner knows, members of the public knows, the committee knows, NEMA knows. Number two, you are undertaking projects within your farm without complying to set regulations, something that the farm owner knows in the first place, NEMA now knows, the government knows, and members of the public know. So these are some of the things that came up. So this environmental restoration order was rejected also by the committee, instructing NEMA and the Environment Ministry to go back and draft something more serious. For instance, if you look at the recommendations that if the farm owner does not restore the environment, some of the punitive measures here are lenient if you look at the scale of Patel farm and what it is capable of. For instance, if it does not restore the environment, some of the measures that can be meted against him include an imprisonment of a term not exceeding 1 year, or a fine that is not less than 2 million shillings but does not exceed 4 million shillings, which if you look at the scale of the damage that happened in Solai, it is something that is like handling the farm owner with kid gloves. Now, other things also came up. For instance, NEMA and the Ministry of Environment also found out that the farm also has an 800-acre wildlife sanctuary without authorization from KWS. That tells you that the farm owner basically does things whichever way he wants, at whatever scale he wants, and without any authorization. It's like he runs his own republic within the Republic of Kenya. So these are some of the things that came up during today's meeting. So what we are expecting is that if Dr. Matiangí turns out tomorrow, he'll have to answer to questions concerning allegations of his officials of the Interior Department going out and making people sign indemnity forms. That is one. Number two, coming up with the list of fake survivors and victims of the tragedy. Then concerning NEMA as well as the Environment Ministry, they're supposed to report back to the Senate Ad Hoc Committee on Environment in 7 days' time to come up with a more substantive reports. Back to you.
All right, Mark, thank you for that update. Mark Namaso, who has been covering the probe by the Senate Ad Hoc Committee chaired by Makueni Senator Mutula Kilonzo, of course.